So I've just quarantined for 2 weeks, which means no gym time. Here's a little idea I came up with to use real weights while working out at home. Hope you guys find this useful. All you need is about $50 and some open space, front yard, backyard, anywhere that you can drop cinder blocks and not damage things. So here's the thing: you're gonna want some 8x8 by 16 cinder blocks. These weigh about 40 pounds. And they cost only $2 or so. And I'll show you how much they weigh on the scale a little bit later. You're gonna need about a 6-foot pipe. I'd actually recommend a longer one, just so you can fit more cinder blocks. So you can see they take up a decent amount of space. This pipe actually just pulled from this dock down there, but you can get both these at like the Home Depot and Menards and stuff. I know Home Depot does on-site pickup, and I think they also do delivery. And if you can't do those things, then maybe you get a friend to go pick them up for you and drop them off. So basically, as you can see the setup here, all I'm doing is sticking the pipe through the cinder block and using it as a barbell. Works pretty well. Other things you might need: some way to raise it off the floor. I've got 2 picnic tables here and a 5-gallon bucket. I'd actually recommend getting extra cinder blocks and just using those if you don't have a picnic table or whatever. Here's the scale I'll be using to weigh all the cinder blocks. I had a better one, but unfortunately I gave it away about a week or so before I went into quarantine. As you can see, it's unfortunately relatively accurate. So we'll see how much cinder blocks. Okay, so there is about a 3-pound allowance on the scale. I forgot to mention that, but otherwise it's pretty accurate. Let me go ahead and weigh these cinder blocks, just so you can kind of see how much they actually weigh. Okay, so the first one's maybe about 40 or so. Second one, pretty close, but a little bit less than 40. And then I just brought one that I broke in half to use as a lighter weight. About 25, which makes sense because I missed some chunks there. Otherwise, they work pretty well. So I have 8 of them here, and then the 9th one is the one that I broke in half. Other pieces over there. This number works pretty well for me on everything except for deadlift, really. Just the weight's not that heavy. If you want more, either to stack them up or just get more weight, that's fine. I'd recommend getting a longer bar again, just so you can fit more on the side, because they're pretty thick. These are 8x8 by 16s. But for 40 pounds, they're pretty good bang for your buck. Cheaper than metal weights. But now I'm just going to go ahead and demo some movements, starting with shoulder press. Just to show you what I've been doing, show you that it works. Demo some movements here real quick. The reason I'm breathing hard is because I've been working out between shots. It's not because I'm fat, I promise. So ideally you're going to want a level surface to put these on. Unfortunately I live in Iowa, which means there are no level surfaces. So I just got to make do. So you can see here, all I did was stack everything up on the table, put the bar through, and I'm just gonna do presses like that. I'll show you real quick. All right, so you can see I'm not starting from a level plane. Just keep that in mind. Also, I don't have anything to catch the bar, so it will move if you're not being careful. Just keep that in mind. The hardest parts are picking it up off and taking it back down onto the buckets. But if you're careful, you should be okay. I'll just demo that real quick. So pick it up pretty easy from there. Standard press. Setting it back down, you gotta be a little bit careful because the cinder blocks move. Okay, and there you have it. Shoulder press. Actually my favorite movement so far. Besides maybe the row. Just feels pretty good. I'll show you front squat next. Front squat, back squat, lunge real quick. Same setup as the shoulder press. I'll just get right into it. Keep in mind, once again, try to start from the most stable surface that you can. And this will move if you're not careful. So I'll do a back squat, lunge first. Lunge. I'll do front squat for my front squat guys and girls. Once again, setting it down is probably the hardest part, just because these will try to move on you. Just be careful and drop it if you need to. So we're doing it outside. Front squat, I'd say of the three, lunge probably feels the most stable. So I'd recommend doing that one the most. Now I'll move on to rows and deadlift next. Deadlifts are by far the easiest ones to set up. You just need the ground, just a couple cinder blocks, and the bar. So if you can't do the other ones, you could at least do this. I'm just gonna do them both together and show you real quick. Okay. So once again, a quick recommendation, find the most stable surface you can. One level, the better it's gonna be for you. For deadlift, the bar is a bit thicker than you're probably used to at the gym. So just be aware of that. Straps do work. The longer they are, the better. I've tried my straps on, they're a bit smaller so they don't go all the way around the bar, but they do help a little bit. So if you need to do that, you can do that. And for deadlift, I managed to put 3 on this so far on each side, and then I ran out of room. So if you can, try to get a longer bar. You'll be able to fit more stuff on. Right into it, I guess. Pretty easy. Once again, it's gonna be harder for you to grip just because it's wider. For row, pretty much the same setup. I'd say row is another one that just feels more fluid of the ones I've done so far. Alright, so I'm gonna show bench press real quick. So all I've got it here is just set up on the picnic table with the 5-gallon buckets and the cinder block, raising the bar up so I can get over my head. I'll show you that real quick. As you can see, I can't get my elbows all the way down the full depth just because the picnic table gets in the way. So I don't know, sorry about that. Think of a better idea, let me know. Other than that, it works pretty well. Once again, racking it is going to be the most dangerous part. So just try to be careful when you're doing it. Yeah, this is actually also the same setup I use for curls. So I'll show you that real quick too. All I did is raise the bar up. Let's use the ground. There you go. Curls. Okay. If you want, it'd probably be safer if you did the bench on the ground and just use the buckets and the cinder blocks to raise it up. That way, if you need to, just toss it over your head if you feel like it's gonna fall. Other than that, I think that's all the movements I've thought up so far. If I think of some more, I might post another video. I also might post a video about how my 1-rep maxes have changed from pre to post quarantine, just for fun. Hope this helped you out. If not, that's okay.